Hello everyone and welcome to episode 9. I'm Gabe and today we'll be learning all about the new battle gimmick of the region and exploring Route 5. Real fast, in the last episode, a number of your Pokemon evolved after defeating the Dark-type head researcher, and you gained your second access code. As you ready yourself to leave Camp Niffer, you are stopped by a young fellow researcher. Now, I know I said we wouldn't be drawing any more characters, but I had to make an exception here. This character will introduce us to the new mechanic for the region, along with fixing an oversight from earlier in the region. When I made the player characters, Ellie and Grant, I initially wanted to add a third, non-binary option, but I was unsure about what Jurassic Park character to adapt. Obviously, I passed over that idea then, but now we're revisiting it. And the more I thought about it, the more that Ian Malcolm actually would be a good basis for a non-binary character. So we will be retroactively saying that Mal here is a third potential character. One of the two trainers that you don't pick becomes your rival, like Grant is, and the other introduces you to the new battle mechanic for the region. And since I wanted to introduce the mechanic in the Dark-type Camp Niffer, Ian Malcolm's look works particularly well. Also, you'll have to excuse the lack of voice acting for Mal, as this was a very last-minute addition. As you reach the gate, Mal steps in front of you. They compliment you on beating your second head researcher, but warn you that battles will only get tougher from here on out. They ask if you are utilizing Adaption Attacks yet. Adaption Attacks? What could those possibly be? Yes, but it seems that Professor Ginkgo forgot to mention this new battle option. Mel challenges you to a battle so that they can demonstrate how the ancient Pokemon of the Palean region are able to harness primal infinity energy and infuse their attacks with multiple types. They throw out a Resonettle of their own, and they explain that during a battle, when choosing an attack, you can pick the Adaptation Attack icon. After this, you choose the infinity energy of one of your attacks to store in your Pokemon. The attack power that is stored is dependent on the move's PP, so you can actually use non-damaging status moves to prepare an adaptation attack. Here's a little chart that shows how much attack power you're storing depending on the move's PP. Mal has their Resonettle store up a Dark-type move, and storing a move like this always has priority. And for that single turn, you will get a defensive boost depending on what type you choose. You gain the resistances, but not the weaknesses of that type on top of your current typing. So Resonettle, who is Bug and Rock type, would get the Dark type's resistances for one turn. So if you hit it with a Ghost type move, it would take half damage. Or if you hit it with a Psychic move, it would be completely immune. Again, you're only getting the type's resistances and not weaknesses. So it's not like Resonettle would become weaker to fighting attacks for that turn. Mechanically, I think this is a lot more balanced than just having this hunker down turn negate a set percentage of damage. It'll balance out that if you choose a more defensive type, you're more likely to negate incoming damage, but have less super effective range when you attack, while an attacking type may lack the resistances you need to survive. Mal explains that after you have stored up an attack, you are not required to use the adaptation attack right away. You can choose to use another normal move, but they remind you that your defensive boost was only active for that first turn and does not persist. When you do choose the adaptation attack icon, you get to decide what second typing is to be combined with your stored attack type. Again, the amount that you're adding to the final attack is dependent on the PP of that move. For actually calculating damage, you're technically attacking with both the moves so that their attack or special attack types can be taken into consideration. But the typing of both moves will change to whichever of the two will do more damage. Mal picks the flying type second, and their Resonettle unleashes a powerful Ominous Wind attack. After this, they end the battle, heal up your Pokemon, and send you on your way. but we'll be sure to run into them again in the future. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the Adaptation Attack mechanics. You step out onto Route 5, where the cliffs become even more treacherous. The path dips down towards turbulent waters, and you are hit with a cool mist. You see Ectrio, Nihilocene, and the new ice type from our last video, Penguno, hiding in the shadowy cliffs and crevices, along with a handful of Dodoi foolishly playing on cliff edges. In a somewhat cool pool of water, you spot two familiar Pokemon. First off, we've got our little Primal Tirtouga. This design was very straightforward, with two small tweaks. Firstly, I wanted to change the personality. I completely forgot until I reread Tirtouga's Dex entries that it is an active predator. Instead, I wanted to pull in some Finding Nemo inspiration and have our little sea turtle be much more chill. It's not dumb, but ridiculously relaxed at all times. So rounding the beak and a rotation of the eyelid was all I needed to accomplish that. The second bit was the shell. I'm adding some large pearls to soften the design overall and lay a foundation for its evolution. You let me know if you can guess the added type as I read the Dex entry. This is Primal Tirtouga, the proto-turtle Pokemon. This armored Pokemon loves being tossed about by gentle waves. Primal Tirtouga's go-with-the-flow attitude give it an extremely calming presence. The strange blue pearls on its shell can detect changing ocean currents and let the proto-turtle navigate without giving it any thought. Its ability is Damp, and that prevents other Pokemon from using Explosion and Self-Destruct. And that's just because it's so chill. You don't want to explode around this very, very relaxed turtle. And I love the idea of it being thrown about in the waves, but it's just so relaxed that it's basically surfing. The other Pokemon that you spot is a Relicanth. You examine it closely, looking for variations that would hint at it being a revived primal form, but alas, this seems to be just a regular Relicanth. It has not changed. Amused, you go ahead and catch it. The narrow cliff path twists up and around and ends abruptly at the mouth of a dark cave. Before you can take a step inside, a voice calls out from above you. The sun is in your eyes, but it seems that Professor Ginkgo is being lowered down from some flying Pokemon. Her feet touch the ground, and the Pokemon flies off before you get a good look at it.
Wait! I need you to stop there! I'm so glad that I was able to catch up to you. Thank goodness that Bree let me use her ride Pokemon to get here in no time. I just got word that some of those nasty Team Arc punks are up to no good in Mayo Cave. I can't let you walk into that. What? You think you can help? I don't know if you and your Pokemon are strong enough for a challenge like that. But if you want to prove it, you can show me what you got. Ready?
Professor Ginkgo leads with her starter Pokemon, who you are not surprised to see has also evolved. She has the advantage over you, but your other Pokemon are able to counter, and she is forced to send out her second Pokemon, Rhinosi. Your flying, bug, and ice types make short work of it. And finally, Professor Ginkgo sends out her last Pokemon. Okay, let's see if we can give little Omanyte a bit more of an attitude. It's based off a very successful group of marine predators, so we can add the protective plate over its head to give it an intimidating scowl. The little tentacles held up in the air also had to go. It made it look too helpless, so this more neutral pose is better, I think. And lastly, I wanted to put some colors on that shell. Though I kept the overall smoothness and silhouette of the shell, I was able to use the color pattern to reference the kind of exaggerated ridges found on actual ammonite fossils. Overall, the design is pretty similar, but as with all of the primal forms of existing fossil Pokemon, we'll be having more fun when it evolves. Here is Primal Omanyte, the spiral Pokemon. This Pokemon's 10 tentacles are very short but incredibly strong. It uses them to swim about gracefully, and when threatened, Primal Omanyte are able to recede back into their shell and cover the opening with a protective plate. While hidden in their shell, they are nearly indestructible. And because of that shell, I am giving it the ability Sturdy, allowing it to survive at 1 HP when it's hit at full health. It's a tricky little water type, but eventually you knock it out. The professor's Pokémon were tough, but no match for you. She produces potions from her bag and heals up all of your Pokémon. Team Arc is up to something nefarious inside Mio Cave, but luckily Professor Ginkgo will have your help. In the next episode, that is. Thank you so much for watching, and please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. As always, I would love to hear your thoughts on today's episode, especially the new battle mechanics and the new Pokemon. And I'll see you in episode 10. Bye!